Okay, so let's...
So it's like...
And speed. Yeah.
Hi, I'm ewhac.
I'm gammadev.
And I don't know why we're doing this.
We're doing a very special episode
When you
of
say
Let's
special,
Drown Out. Well, I'm not talking short bus special. I mean, it's special.
So
inspired by our last YouTube video.
Yes, where you brought up some old material of mine. So way back when I was on a game show called Starcade, which was basically video games played, competitive video gaming. If you remember the early days of G4 TV, this was one of the programs that they used to fill out their lineup.
Which itself was retro when they aired it. Because...
Yes, yes, because it was these were recorded like 1984, 1983, something like that.
Yeah, right before the big video game crash.
Yes.
So yes.
So
and I used to watch this every afternoon when I was a kid, coming home from school.
Huh.
So it's one of the good reasons to own cable in those days.
That's right, TBS broadcast this.
Yes. And, also we talked a little bit about this before, like Jeff Edwards, the host of this, he passed away recently, just this year.
Yes.
Yes. Who, he had a long career both in news and then in as a TV host.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, didn't he host like that lottery?
Yeah, he used to host the Big Spin.
Yeah, so...
California Lottery has gone through many generations, and one of them was if you got a thing, you'd be invited on the Big Spin, and you spun the wheel, right, and the ball would land in a place, and you'd win that much money.
So yes, if you lived in California within the last decade or two, you probably have seen this person on TV. So we're going to take a look at both of your episodes.
Oh God!
Hey, you're a champion, so you got invited back. But we will discuss various strategies and pitfalls of things.
Yes.
And yeah, so here we go. Let's start the show.
This is Starcade, TV's first video.
Love the Video Starfield, by the way. This is before the Amiga Video Toaster, so this was done on an oscilloscope, essentially.
Yeah, no, digital video effects were very, very
Journey.
new.
They got a Journey game.
Yes, they did. I played that. My God, that was weird.
Digitized band members and a tape player inside that would play a song if you got to the boss level.
No.
Ready? Let's go play Starcade. Here we go.
Gyrus, that's a great game. Why didn't you play
It
that
was.
one?
It was.
So basically, all the games in the back are games that aren't going to be in the show because they had to move them out to the stage.
Yeah, because they're out front, yes.
That's basically the storeroom in the back there of all their arcade games, right?
Yep.
Oh. I thought that was on the thing.
Oh, my ride's here.
Leo, nice to know you. How are you?
I'm fine.
There's your G4 logo for you.
Want to tell us about?
Yeah, I'm into computers and electronics.
Ah, good for you. What's that in your hand?
This is a little goofy Christmas ornament, and I put up as
And as you saw
It
from the...
still works.
It still works.
flashes lights randomly. I don't think you can see it in the lights.
All right, good. Well, then,
It's really stupid simple. It's a 556 timer and a 1 of 8 decoder.
It has a definite pattern to its lights, though, doesn't it?
That's correct, because it's a 1 of 8 decoder. It's just cycling through,
Video games, and my hobbies are basketball and table tennis.
okay, I think we're going to have a good game today.
Can we boost the volume just a tad? I can't hear Jeff.
Today's games. And today, one of you is going to have a chance to win this fabulous video arcade game. It is Burger Time.
This could have been yours. This could be sitting in your living room right now. or in your mom's garage.
Mom's garage, yeah. Is where it
Oh,
would have
you
been.
would have moved it. It's not like you lived that far from...
Actually,
the Pac-Man sequel that nobody liked. The same game with a dragon instead of a robot at the end. A French game. And pole position. Now we're going to talk about the strategy of which games you pick. Now that's an awesome game. I love that game.
it was, yeah.
Okay, thanks a lot. Now, today...
Too bad they didn't have the cockpit version of that.
Yeah, that would have been, well, yeah. Oh, yeah, so the camera, you only see the front side of these kiosks. The back side is basically a mass of plywood and gaffer's tape.
I was kind of guessing that,
Yeah.
yeah.
What the mystery game is? Pole position. All right, everybody knows now except the three of us. Now, I'm going to ask you a question.
The mystery game.
Yeah.
You could have won a prize. I think it was always like a connection of like Zonix cartridges or something for the Atari.
Ringing of the bell signifies A, the safe return of the baby kangaroo, B, replenishing
Replenishing the fruit.
Vance.
Replenishing fruit supply.
Yes, B, replenishing fruit supply is right. Good for you.
I'd never heard of it.
What, kangaroo?
Yeah.
Oh,
And another thing they told you to do is it's like, watch out for the neons. Because the power source to the neons was like not completely shielded. So
What?
Watch out for the neons.
I smell a lawsuit. This was essentially Sega's answer to Star Wars. Which actually it's pretty good, although the funny thing is, you rarely watch the 3D view. You almost always play it from the
top
overhead
view.
map.
Yeah.
Which is probably why it's half the screen. You know, it's like... But it has the very cool digitized speech in it.
Yes.
Welcome aboard, Captain. Entering Sector 1.2.
Yes.
That's better than Super Wing Commander in terms of...
Star Trek it is. You can get a lot of points here. Now, there's two schools of thought. Some people say you should dock at the star base when you run low. Others say forget about it and just...
Forget the starbase.
Yes, if you...
Unless you could ram for the entire 30 seconds and not be in danger of running out of anything. You don't get points for the starbase, do you?
You don't get points for the starbase, but if you use the starbase, the points you get... There's bonus points at the end of the round. Yeah, so for every base that survives,
right,
you get so many points if you didn't use it, and less points if you did use it.
Yeah, so in other words, it'd be dumb for you to use a starbase on a 30-second play.
Right.
Or
yeah,
40, was it 40 seconds and 30 seconds, or what is it?
It was something like 40, 30, 20, or progression.
God, 20, I forgot about it. But then again, that was feasible in those days because games were meant to be played for like 2 minutes at a pop before you die. That was supposed to be like the average quarter drop was supposed to be 2 minutes.
Exactly.
So, which is still longer than the game of Flappy Birds. So.
15,425. I thought that wasn't your favorite game.
No, it's not, but I practice on it.
Well, if you do better on some other games...
Oh, right, and they power cycled the game when they were...
Oh, to make sure that the random number generators were the same and everything?
or something. It's probably just easier to get back the way they...
Well, they had to... You can probably see this on their website. They had to go through a lot of hijinks and somersaults to get it to record video to freeze frame the score or something like that. They had an issue with... They didn't know how they could freeze frame it properly. Because this is before decent screen capture stuff. And so they had to... Because I remember there was like a few episodes where, because of the way the score updated, they couldn't... It didn't work because the score had flashed or something on an odd frame or something, and when they captured it, and so it's like, we don't have the official score because they couldn't capture more than one frame of the video.
Wiping them out. 20 seconds, plenty of time, doing great.
Use that warp button.
Yep.
Yeah. Go on. Next sector.
I think I might still have those glasses. I'm a pack rat. Yeah, I think an example of your... right. You an example of like, you have to freeze the frame on what the actual score was.
Back in just a few moments. When we come back, we'll find out which player is going to...
You're pleased with yourself there, a little smug little
No,
grin.
I always look like that.
The grand prize today on Starcade is the video arcade game Burger Time, a unique game of...
Now, you got this off G4. Maybe... What are the ones off... So this is off archive.org? You got
Yes,
this?
that's correct. I downloaded
Because
this off
JM, I wonder if they kept all the commercials for like the things.
Oh, wow, I don't
Guests
know.
of our things stay at the such and such hotel in downtown San Francisco, and it's no longer there now, or is now condemned, or owned by Google. One of the two. It's
25 so far, not bad. Let's take a look at Leo's score.
now, at this point, you should pick nothing but low-scoring games that you don't like, so that you have a good game for the finale, for the final thing, right?
I'm going to ask you another question. You all set? Remember, first one to buzz in gets to answer the question. Answer correctly, you'll pick the next game. When the domino man whacks with bully, whacks bully with a domino, the bully A gets mad, B gets embarrassed. Vance.
Gets mad.
No, sorry, he gets embarrassed. And Leo, that means
How do you represent embarrassment on a 4-bit display?
Oh, Domino Man? Well, you make his face red or something. It's really not hard.
Well,
I don't know. Let's try Super Pac-Man.
Super Pac-Man.
Now, this is a game you high score at, isn't it?
What? Me?
It's a very high-scoring game. Super Pac-Man is a fairly high-scoring game if you know a pattern.
Well, I did know a pattern.
Yes, so why did you use this one now and not save this for the final round?
I wasn't thinking along those lines.
Now wait, had you seen this show on TV before you went on there, or not?
Yeah, I'd seen a couple of them.
He changes to Super Pac-Man, 10 times his normal size and able to chomp.
That's not 10 times as much.
Yeah,
It's 4 times.
Well, maybe it's 10 times its area. You know, pi r
Well,
squared
no,
or
it'd be
whatever.
4 times this area if you double the radius. Never mind.
Double the radius. But anyway, point being, also that's just, like I said, that's the sequel. That's the official sequel to Pac-Man.
Yeah.
That nobody liked.
Uh-huh.
Ms. Pac-Man's not an official sequel. It's
Oh.
a couple MIT kids who hacked up a Pac-Man ROM and then Midway bought it from them because they wanted a sequel and they needed one. And it's actually the most popular Pac-Man by far in terms of cabinets made in quarter drop. But Namco has to license it every time from the two guys who made it.
Huh.
Which is why it never shows up. I recently got a Namco Pac-Man collection thing that has all the Namco Pac-Mans, and it has Rally X and all the other Namco games of that era. The one game it leaves off is Ms. Pac-Man.
Huh.
Because they don't want to have to pay for it, and it's also kind of they just begrudgingly admit that it exists. It's like they hate it.
Huh. That's odd.
Because people were waiting forever for a Pac-Man sequel. They were dragging their feet on it. They came up with this, and Ms. Pac-Man meanwhile was
Going crazy.
phenomenally popular, and it's basically two kids who made a ROM hack.
Huh.
Or not even a ROM hack. It's an actual board you plug into a Pac-Man. So it's no bootlegging involved. It's a daughter board you stick onto a regular Pac-Man.
Huh.
A couple of MIT kids who Atari sued. The kids countersued them. Atari settled with them. They made the settlement was that they got to make games for Atari, and they actually have made a bunch of games for Atari. They made most of the good 2600, 5200, 7800 games. They actually made the 7800 too. They designed and made the 7800. That's what you get for hacking a Ms. Pac-Man ROM. But anyway, the deal was with Atari, they said, okay, the one thing is you can't sell many more speed-up kits, because that's why they got sued over a speed-up kit for Ms. Pac-Man, for a missile command.
Huh.
And they put a lot of work into this game. It was called Crazy Auto.
Uh-huh.
And they said, well, what if we got permission to do it, to release it? Because we put a lot of work into it.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, okay. And Atari's like, yeah, sure. If you can get Midway to give you permission, go ahead. And they laughed it off. Midway's going to give you permission to release a speed-up kit to Pac-Man. They went to Midway, and the very day they were shutting down the Pac-Man line. Because there was no more orders coming from Pac-Man's market was saturated. They needed another game. Namco wasn't making one. And they said, hey, we just kicked Atari's butt in court. Wasn't true at all. It was just, but the deals of the settlement were secret. So they didn't know that. So they said, we just kicked Atari's butt in court. We're going to release a speed-up kit whether you like it or not. But we'd like to give you the opportunity to license it first. And so Midway said, okay, let's see it. They plugged it in. They liked it because, the changing colors made. Basically, it's exactly Ms. Pac-Man, except the sprite is different. It's a guy. It's a little guy with legs who walks around. And the ghosts have little antlers. That's about it. But everything, the cutscenes, identical to the final Ms. Pac-Man. And so Midway goes, could you make this a real Pac-Man game? And we'll pay you money. And they said, tell us more. And so they made Ms. Pac-Man. They made Junior Pac-Man, is also theirs as well.
Wow.
And they got a ton of money out of it. And also then a deal from Atari to make most of Atari's cartridges and to design the Atari 7800.
Not bad.
Yes. And then Jack Tramiel screwed that all up. So this thing, you still
thing,
have
Mr.
this
Disc,
somewhere.
I've looked for it. I have a very, very dim memory that I might have given it to a friend, the Mr. Disc.
Okay.
But I've looked for it. I've got huge numbers of boxes downstairs.
Okay. Now let's watch this game here for a second. Now we're going to put on a couple things afterwards. And then we will talk about the prizes afterwards.
Around here. In the upper left-hand corner is where we're going to start. Is that Explorer or Space Duel?
Explorer.
Right you are, one right.
Process of elimination, right?
Is this Stargate or Defender?
Stargate.
That is Defender. Sorry.
And that is the easiest game of those two to pick
Next,
from.
is that Space Rock or Asteroid?
Oh, except for this
Asteroids.
one. Yeah.
Right, good for you. And finally, 4, Eliminator or Black Spiral?
Eliminator. Yes. Okay. So you missed Defender. You
Yeah.
got the Mr. Disc instead of the sensor chest. You realize that the Mr. Disc is now way more valuable than that sensor chest.
So I've been told.
By me. Yes. The box alone, I think, is worth about $100. So
You're kidding.
if you have the box, you might
I
as well
think
try
I
and-
have the box.
Yeah. The Mr. Disc itself is, I've seen it sells for like a couple hundred, up to $300 I've seen. No, I don't think anybody had the box. Or the one that I saw that History of eBay had the box, it was like 150 over like what I saw for just the standalone thing. So, find the Mr. Disc, or at least sell the box. If you had the sensor chest, it'd be about $70 on eBay, the sensor chest. So. And that's only for like the good one, the one that was, I couldn't find your exact version, but the one that was released after it, which is, what's his name, Kasparov, or I guess, or who's the Russian thing? He did a branded version. I don't know how that works. Because it was the title of the Soviet Union, how'd you get that? It's like, probably never saw any money from it. Or him and the Tetris guy.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yes, so the fact that you missed it actually ended up with a more valuable prize.
A new game here. That sounds wild. All right, Vance and Leo, we're at round number 2.
Well, at least they kept the hotline stuff, so you can see like what was the buzz in the day. Of, you mean computers can now let you order pizza? Tell me more. You know, Nolan Bushnell and pizza. Tell me more. You know.
Oh, his automatic pizza serving machine.
In Bump and Jump, in order to jump clear over each roadway menace, the player's car must accelerate to at least what speed? A, 100 miles. B,
100 miles.
Leo, what? 100 miles. Yes, you answered even before I saw you were there.
Now, did you actually know that?
I
You
actually
figured,
knew that,
or
yeah.
you actually figured that it's got to be 100 miles.
No.
This is
no,
before
I
Back
actually-
to the Future, so it's not going to be 88. So. Max out the LEDs. So-
Why did I pick Super Zaxxon? I don't know why I picked Super Zaxxon, because I didn't like any of the
well,
games
Super
that were
Zaxxon
left
is
up.
a low-scoring game, relatively speaking, and it's tough.
And also, yeah, and as you will see, I suck at it.
Now, didn't you ever figure out this from just regular Zaxxon? I mean, Super Zaxxon sort of just was not even, I don't even think it was an upgrade kit. It was literally like swap this one ROM in the thing. The way you figure out the height of the walls in Zaxxon and Super Zaxxon is, because it's the same game. It's basically they swapped out the end boss is what is different. That's it. It's a dragon instead of a stupid ass robot. But anyway, which you're never going to get near, or anybody else. You can't. Well, you couldn't do it in 30 seconds anyway.
No, certainly not.
But you figure out the height of the walls from shooting. You just shoot, and if your shots go through, you know you're good.
Yes.
Something which has served me many in future life as well. It's like, clear the road.
And crash.
So as long
Basically, boom. Yeah. So I'm very.
So-
No. This is.
I think they put maybe a green tint on the graphics, but basically this is Zaxxon. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not even. It's like super Zaxxon. There's nothing super about it. Except dragons are cool, man. So yeah, you're gonna.
Yeah.
But at least you don't at least die, do you?
No. I get to the tunnel. I think.
What? You don't hear the Qbert sound that they play if you die before the... Oh, maybe not. Did they give you 5 lives?
I think so. Some of these were set really easy, and others were set
There you go.
very, very difficult. Like Super Pac-Man was really cranked, as far as I'm aware.
You had a little trouble staying in here.
Well, it's not my best game.
Okay, Leo, head on back. Let's see what Vance can do. Come on down.
Now
here,
see...
Vance.
Because
Vance.
when we get to the thing, the final game...
Yeah.
Spoiler alert! Leo wins because he's got an insurmountable lead at this point. When you get to the final game,
Yeah.
it is pole position, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Pole position is a game that everybody by this time was really good at. Or at least good enough that there was a very narrow range, because the way you win this thing is you have to beat the average score of like 10 people, right?
100 other people.
100?
They
No,
measured,
they didn't have 100 people. They must be lying.
Okay, so the way this worked, the way the contestant recruiting worked, is they would call a bunch of people in, and you'd stand up and say something about yourself, and then of those that they liked, they called them in again.
Right.
And then they put us in, so the back room at the beginning of the show where you see all those video games laid out, put us into that room. The games were all set up in a circle, and then everybody...
Oh, we got the Qbert sound.
Yeah.
Oh, plop.
And then everybody played every game
Right.
for 30 seconds wrote down their score, moved to the next game, play for 30 seconds, write down the
It's
score.
even worse than I thought. Okay.
Yeah. So you
It's like a lie to get on the show, and then they're bumping up the score.
Yes, and I presume that's where they got the averages.
So basically, they crowdsourced it. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the problem with pole position is a relatively low-scoring game, and everybody basically dies in one spot, or they make it past that one spot.
Yeah.
Which is the third turn, right?
Yeah, or the fourth turn, I think,
yeah.
which is the hairpin. Yeah.
Yeah, the hairpin turn. Now, did you get this?
Yes.
Where is it?
It's in a box somewhere.
That's also got a thriving homebrew community now.
Really, that's surprising because even at the time, I thought that was a really poor.
No,
machine.
it's like I think it has the same guts as basically most of the same guts as like a ColecoVision.
No.
And so there's a lot of cross. It's a Z80, right?
No.
It's not.
No, it's a TMS 9900.
I thought,
It's some weird 16-bit processor.
or maybe it's the graphics chip it shares with the Coleco or something. There's some, or somebody says it's easy to port between that and the ColecoVision for some bizarre reason. I thought it was because it has a couple chips in common.
I don't know because I thought I'd looked it up, but I thought it was some weird 16-bit chip from TI. But it was. What made it weird is it had no on-chip registers. Basically, it had a region of memory that it treated as registers, and basically every instruction was 7 cycles.
Yeah.
This is the TMS 9900.
Yeah, but I do remember it actually being fairly competent for a lot of the games I saw on it. You know, at the time I was looking at buying a home computer, or had my parents buy me a home computer.
The basic interpreter was dog slow compared to other basic interpreters at the time.
Basic, yeah. But I remember like its actual games and that it had were fairly respectable. Like they had like a not a defender, but like a scramble code called Parsec or something like that. We're just like, it looks pretty good.
It was all cartridge based too.
Yeah. Oh, but you could buy tape drives and stuff for it. It was very expandable. We'll have to put the link to the screenshot of that. Basically, it daisy chained expansions off the side. And it just kept getting wired. I thought the PC Junior was ridiculous. How many expansions you could daisy chain off the side of the thing. But the TI apparently takes that to the next level. So. Okay, so pole position, I guess. I'm pretty sure even by this point I knew that this was a bad game to choose for your final game because it's like everybody knows how to play up to that one turn. Everybody can get to that turn in 30 seconds. Now wait, did you actually have to play the qualifying lap?
Hairpin. What?
Now, did they make you play the qualifying lap, or did they actually make you play the race lap?
It's the qualifying lap.
Okay.
Put it up front, and I'll get ready to start the game.
Well, there's your problem.
That was in the way. Whoop! Why is it sticking? All right. All our.
Ooh, speech.
Yeah. Sound sample.
Fourth turn. Now, see, even Jeff Edwards knows
Yeah,
it's the fourth turn. So you had to play for 30 seconds.
Right.
Got it.
There we go.
And here's the
kaboom.
Most people hit the billboard. You hit the
right.
You
So
hit a guy the random guy that's there.
Yeah.
Oh, no. 6,040 just missed. Boy, I thought you were going to have it. If you hadn't hit that car, you would have had it.
Yeah, rub it in. Why don't you, Jeff?
Yeah.
You bastard. I will have my revenge.
No, I won't.
Wait, actually, you will, as we will see coming up. I wonder if he got to keep any of the games. And Jeff Edwards, it's like, okay, who wants Pac-Man?
Jeff Edwards apparently he developed an interest in this, and he would like during spare time he would apparently, so I was told, he would go off and
he was very method.
Play the game. But yeah, and they also apparently had when I was there, I can't remember if it was for this episode or for the invitational episode. They were going to do an All Dragons Lair installment, and they had like a bunch of Dragons Lairs in there.
Yeah, I've seen that show, the All Dragons Lair. They did All Dragons
Lair.
Lair.
And when that had happened, like about a week
before.
Clock
control. Wait, it's a clock control by TIs. So maybe they came up with the whole the whole counter thing for their system. That's why they're a sponsor. It's like, oh
yeah, could be.
RCA.
83. God damn it.
83.
I feel
There
so
you go.
old.
Now we will put in the next one.
Hooray.
Well, why is this labeled 229? It's on their website. It's like the very next one. It's like 63 versus 62.
Okay.
Or is this like is the
I
archive on
downloaded,
G4?
I assume I downloaded the right file.
No, if it's the robot, yeah, it is.
No, there's more than one robot installation.
Well, let's find out.
If it's wrong, then we'll find out. Ah!
That's not even chroma key, is it? That's more like black
Chroma key.
Nope, this is it.
Starcade champions. First, here's Jordan Silver. Here's Alex Clemens.
Plunged into darkness. Yeah, I think this is
Ah,
it.
the Izod shirt. Very popular at that time.
Yep, little alligator.
You were preppy.
Leo Schwab. Those are our Starcade champions, and now here's our host, Jeff Edwards.
What's your problem? You're wearing a button-down shirt. This is what it
All right, thank you very much.
is. Not a girlfriend between them.
Oh, you're a lot of help.
I have no room to talk.
Four Starcaders who have already played and won on previous Starcade shows are back to compete against each
Now,
other.
did you like draw straws for the order or anything? Or
No, they
had an
selected
idea.
at random.
Okay, they have an idea like
Yeah.
who they wanted
in
to
fact,
pit against.
In fact, so when you go to the kiosks, the little pods that you stand behind, they were covered up, so we didn't know when we walked out on stage who the first two people were going to be.
They were taking it
Our
serious.
first two players today are Alex.
Look at that groovy Starfield in the back of the thing.
Okay, that means that Jordan and Mike, you can go off stage, and we'll be back in a little while to play the second match. We'll see you later.
Jim and the holograms are going to come out playing soon or something.
All right, first two players. So as they get ready to play Starcade, I want to tell you one.
It's not a bad looking set. You gotta admit.
They didn't
kinda,
do too bad.
It's kind of like a groovy version of the Jeopardy set kind of going on.
Our first game today was picked by both Alex and Jordan. It's pole position on the fast.
Well, Leo wasn't going to pick that one,
No.
that's for sure.
Gyres picked by Leo, a race
Oh, you picked yours.
Yeah.
The next one was picked by
But I
Mike,
didn't get to play it.
Zookeeper, and the animals are loose.
Now, didn't you want to pick Black Widow, you said?
I wanted to play. Yes, I wanted to pick Black Widow.
Roll on
Oh my God.
That's
That's an okay game.
I saw that game before I saw the movie,
Okay, thanks, Kevin.
Okay.
and I saw the game at Starcade. Whoa, you're back winding.
Ah, sorry. Damn it. Hold on, edit. Pole position. Let's do the sync. Okay, talking about Black Widow. Just rewind to get you a little bit of
Yeah.
Black Widow action here.
So the way they did this, the way they shot the video games, is they basically tapped off the video signals coming directly off the video game machines. They basically tapped off the back of the panels.
Right.
And then they ran them back and they displayed them on another monitor where
Which
they had
had
a
a
couple
camera,
of cameras
right.
shooting that monitor. Oh, there it is. All right.
Dr. Ball. Yes, okay. No, sorry.
And in order to do that with vector games, they had to have a vector-compatible monitor. So I picked Black Widow, which is a vector game, and someone else picked Star Wars, which is a vector game. And so the other game that they would have used, and so they had to use another game they would have used as a vector.
Blueprint.
Mappy? No.
Mappy?
Mappy? What the hell?
A game called Blueprint. So Leo, that means you have the advantage.
So anyway, so the machine they were going to use as the vector display broke,
Right.
and so they had to press Black Widow into service.
Okay.
So I couldn't have Black Widow anymore. So I picked Gyres. Okay.
Play Zookeeper.
Which is a fun game.
Yeah.
They give me almost nothing to work
Got
with.
the Bach
I am
music
only
and everything.
one man, but I do my best to keep the animals from wandering.
This is actually a good game for high scoring if you know how to do it.
Because they are hungry
It's
and
the
they
multiplier
keep
when you
running
jump
away
guys. It's like very good.
once they've escaped.
In fact, I'm not sure it's worth it actually to capture the guys unless you, if it is to jump over like two of them at once. If you can do that in 40 seconds or whatever.
Got to do it.
Who better than you, Kevin?
What's his girlfriend's name? Quick, trivia.
I don't know.
Zelda. It's
Oh,
Zeke,
really?
Zeke the Zookeeper, and Zelda is his girlfriend.
All right, here we go.
So long before there was The Legend of Zelda, there was Taito should be suing.
Taito, yes.
Taito. So yeah, this is showing you like the multiplier right there. It's like if you jump over like 4 at a time, you can get like, it's like eating ghosts in Pac-Man kind of thing. This is one of those. This is one of those really great, but now considered obscure games from that era. It came out just late enough. It's like, but it's. And it was, I think it's also been left off a lot of our arcade compilations that Taito did because it's hard to emulate because it uses two Z80s running in parallel.
Really?
Because I guess it required. I see. There, you should have double jumped over those guys.
I was.
I know you're going after the bonus and waiting for the net to show up.
Well, no. No. The only time I'd ever played Zookeeper was on this show.
Well, okay.
We didn't have one in our arcade.
Oh, played it a couple times. I'm not real good at it, but I'm gonna do my best.
Sandbagging.
Let's see what happens. You got 30 seconds. Get ready. Get set.
I don't know where I came up with this pattern. Yeah, so they're tapping off a monitor in the back.
Yes. Oh, also,
Good.
around this time, so there was a show on television called That's Incredible.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Google it. Be depressed. This is what we had to put up with.
John
in the
Davison and Kathy Lee
Crosby.
before.
Yeah.
Not Kathy Lee Gifford.
Yeah.
Essentially the same mold. I'm guessing it's the same Stepford Wives kind of thing.
But anyway, they had done a video game special episode, and they had used digital video effects to display the games.
Right.
So when I invited on here, I asked us, "Are you using digital? Why are you using cameras? Why aren't you using like digital video effects? Because then you get to like use the raw video." And they said, "DVR looks terrible when you blow it up. It just turns blurry and it's awful. And we just have much better luck with cameras." And I'm like, "Oh, all right."
All right, yeah. Because they had to freeze the score and all that stuff. Your vision is our vision, ColecoVision.
Deceptive advertising, all right.
Yes. Well, look, they had holograms all the way back then. It's the Roomba 0.5.
It's an early Roomba.
I mean, other than what does it actually do though? Because they didn't give you like, wasn't there an arm attachment for this thing? Or was there?
There was an arm attachment for it.
It was more expensive than the robot itself.
Something like that. Actually, I think it was Alex who won this show.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
I'm going to City College right now. City College, San Francisco, going into my second year.
Great.
And I'm 16 years old.
Second year, and you're 16 in college?
Yeah.
Show off.
Well, nice to have you here on the show. And Lee, I remember you from the...
Now, would you be bragging about being a prodigy going to City College? I'm just saying.
I don't know.
I'm not begrudging people who go to community college or whatever.
No, he's done very well.
Okay.
So we kept in touch for a little while. He's done very well.
Okay.
I'm presently attending, but I will be attending for my second year of college in Marin.
Well,
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so it's even.
I'm in my second year, so there.
Yeah, College of Marin is even more anemic than San Francisco's.
Nah.
Okay, Leo. You're in the lead, as you know.
But it's Silicon Valley, so who cares? It's like
But College of Marin is where I learned Unix
There you go.
and C and all those good things. Which
yeah. Whereas, meanwhile, people at Northwestern are going, "What the hell's a computer?" At this point in time.
Alex.
Eyes.
Eyes is right. You got it.
I hate you. I hate you.
Chance to pick the game. Which one are you going to pick?
It's a toss-up between Star Wars and pole position. I think I'll go with Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Now let's talk some strategy on this. I've recently played this game for a charity event, and I remembered this when I was playing because it was a high score competition we were having. You get to choose your start level on Star Wars.
yes,
And if you choose
easy,
your start,
medium, or hard.
yeah, so that was a big thing on that year. Tempest kind of does the same thing, except they actually give you points different.
When you
But
complete
here-
the map, yeah.
But here there's three phases. There's the TIE fighters, there's the bunkers, and then there's the
these-
trench run. They
these towers
skip
with trench
they
run, yeah.
skip the bunkers / towers.
Right.
Because actually in the second medium level it's just bunkers, it's not towers, it's just the
Right.
bunkers. And you go to hard level, you get the towers.
Yeah.
Now the thing is, if you pick easy, yes, you go straight to the trench run after that, which in theory might be
Now
better.
he picked easy too.
Yes, he did pick easy, at which point I was saying, it's like, oh, you got him. The idiot picked easy. Because if you pick medium or hard,
Right.
this level lasts a little bit longer, and you get Darth Vader.
Well, it's okay. So
Darth Vader-
basically, it doesn't matter where you start. It's in 30 seconds. I think this first part always hard ends at 30 seconds because
I think it
we
lasts-
never act.
It
Yeah,
lasts
3, 2,
longer.
1.
Right. But okay. But the thing is, without Darth Vader showing up that easy level, Darth Vader is a high-scoring TIE fighter.
That's correct.
And also, he's invulnerable, so you can keep wailing on him, whereas
he's
everything else
boing,
takes
boing,
one
boing.
hit.
Yeah, as long as he stays in the shot.
Yes, and then after a while, they will steer you away to prevent you from doing that.
And I picked easy
And
too.
it's like, and you doomed yourself at this point. Because yes, it's easier, but then
Yes,
it's like
no. So it's yes. In 30 years of retrospect, obviously, I should have picked her. Okay, that somehow didn't hit him.
well, you know, it's pixel accurate collision detection or vector accurate.
Yeah. Okay. Notice how they've cut away because there's nothing on the screen.
And that's the reason why I do it, is because you can get a few points there as they're all coming in, but if you come in late, they disappear before you get there. So.
Yeah.
So that one's the one where it's like it's relatively low scoring and it's highly random what you get. But I thought, at least if you picked medium or better, you would have had Darth Vader, who's worth double points, and he's clap. So basically, one Darth Vader would have got you.
Play the winner of our other match for the fabulous RB5X robot. And Leo, for you, we have some nice prizes.
The Walk of Shame. What were your parting prizes for that?
A box full of K-Tel records.
To go with your Mr. Oh, there. Oh, okay. They actually tell you. I'm surprised they left that in on the old G4. Again, there might be something in here that's actually worth a lot nowadays if you actually.
I gave them all away. I was.
Please say they were like melted and warped before you did that.
Actually, I gave them all away to a high school radio station.
Did they think they were groovy?
I don't know what I just, it's like, hey, you guys play music here.
Like this record was only ever released by K-Tel that one year, and you have the.
I wasn't thinking in those terms.
This is like the unknown Madonna record before she. Back when she was singing gospel or something.
K-Tel was low budget even then.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like you might find like somebody who later turned out to be famous.
I only kept one.
Doing covers of Karen Carpenter songs or something.
I did actually go through and was just like, is there anything that I actually like?
Was the K-Tel White Album for the Beatles or something?
My musical tastes back then were very, very different. And so basically going through this going, no.
Air Supply.
Oh, wait. All right. This one I enjoy. All right. So I kept one record.
Are you going to tell us what the record is?
I can't remember the name of the album, but the tune that I kept was called Pop Music by M.
M?
Yeah.
M?
M.
Just the letter M?
Yes.
I mean, this is like Eminem's dad or something like that.
New York, London, Paris, music, everyone talking about pop music. Anyway.
And these idiots pick pole position. Okay, they deserve to lose.
I forget the second half of this.
Well, let's find out. See, now you can make all the comments.
I was
you're free and clear, so you could be throwing popcorn at these guys from off camera. Right?
I know. I was in a fugue of shame.
Oh, I'm sorry. Flash photography. No one told me.
Get ready. Get set. Play.
We'll just skip over.
A fugue of shame.
Yeah.
Come on, you were back at the Invitational. You basically got the equivalent of the bronze medal.
But I didn't get to the final
Olympics,
round. I mean,
eliminated
in the first round. Okay, now the story about Alex, as I'm given to understand, is so spoiler, he wins the Invitational and he wins the robot.
Uh-oh.
But
see, it's not that easy.
Yeah, the billboard. Yeah, and I got nailed by the billboard too.
No, you didn't get the billboard.
No, I got nailed by the car.
You missed the billboard.
Because I had spun the wheel and I was on the road. I said yes, and then the car shows up. Ha 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 ha.
Oh, that's somebody reciting the game in the background. Okay,
yep.
Well, Mike, this was his game. That's the one he liked the best, but the turn got him. We'll see how you do. You ready to go?
Sure am.
You have 30 seconds also. Get ready. Get set. Play.
Prepare to qualify.
Where was it? So Alex, he won the robot, but apparently, so one of the things that they mention when they're promoting the robot is, and it's got like a robot arm and something, but it didn't come with, by default, it didn't come with the robot arm. And he said, well, you mentioned on the show that it had an arm, and you didn't give me an arm.
Yep, you got it.
See? Yikes.
Yeah, I'd like to see Kids nowadays used to
69.
playing Mario Kart or freaking Gran Turismo to do that. It's a lot harder in pole position.
And as I'm giving you to understand, Alex ended up suing them
Ha.
to like, you know, make
Ac-
good
actual-
make good on
Oh,
all.
please say he went to the People's Court. That'd be awesome.
No, I don't think so.
Popeye.
Yes, Mike.
Popeye.
Popeye, right you are. Good for you. Now,
What was the first clue? The fact that there's Popeye in it? Or was
name
it...
the game. What are we going to play?
Zookeeper.
Zookeeper it is, and Kevin will tell us about that.
Oh, so they got to play the same games.
Yeah, well, they got the same selection.
Nothing to work with, and I am only one man, but I do my best to keep the animals from...
I'm going to read this read this card
I think
again.
it's like a lot of retro arcade podcasts and things use all the intros for these games because a lot of times that's the only advertising copy that remains of these games is
No kidding?
because I guess Starcade got them from the manufacturers. They got the, you know, ad copy from them, and so a lot of people's like, this is like the only, you know, promotional thing. They might be able to find a flyer, but like, here's the official, basically that's the official press release for these games he's reading. So that's like, this is a valuable source for all
Wow,
these games.
all right, okay.
'Cause a lot of these manufacturers don't exist anymore. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like Eyes, you know, Rockola, you know, like the 4 games that Rockola made in the video game industry. So he knows exactly where to wait for the power-ups.
Yeah, he's clearly played the game before.
Right, 4,170. Nice playing, Mike. Head on back, and here comes George.
Power cycle
I
it too
do love
quickly.
the parent and kid ones where it'll be like, you know, some 40-year-old mom and some 8-year-old like son or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like, you know, the kid's just like, Mom, get out of the way.
Oh, so you know who? So Jeff Edwards is hosting. Here we see Jeff Edwards hosting Starcade, but you know who hosted it before he did?
Alex Trebek.
Yes,
Which maybe that's where they got the
They-
idea to make a Jeopardy set. I don't
and
know. Make Alex
and
feel at home.
to talk to the producers. Those. I said it used to be someone else hosting, was it? Because I had seen a couple of shows. He said,
Well, he did-
Yeah, Alex Trebek. We got rid of him. He was terrible.
Yeah. Well, did he just do the pilot?
Pardon me?
Did Alex just do the pilot? Because there was also Mark Richards was like the first season, wasn't he?
I don't know.
I think Alex
it was-
Trebek was-
it might
I
have
think
been-
Alex Trebek
actually,
just
see,
did the
now,
pilot.
See, now I can't remember. Now you've confused me. I didn't know there were 3 hosts. I knew about Trebek.
There's
But I
Mark
remember they said they had like
Richards.
one previous host.
Mark
That-
Richards did a full season, so it must have been Alex Trebek did the pilot.
Okay. But so
Fresh
okay,
off
so
his,
it might have, it might
off
not
his
have
Joker's Wild pedigree before Jeopardy, I guess.
been, it might not have been Alex Trebek then, but they had like some guy that was prior to Jeff Edwards. He's like, what do you think of Jeff Edwards? Oh, much better than the other guy. It's like if you did anything out of the ordinary, if you like, it would just throw him, and they would have
Well,
to
not-
like stop and then start taping.
Wait,
again.
Mark Richards is the announcer's name, is it? Is that Mark Richards? I don't know. But anyway, the previous host was not a professional guy. I think he was like a former athlete or something.
Okay.
And he was giving it his college try kind of deal,
I see.
but if I remember correctly. But yeah, Alex Trebek did the pilot, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. All right.
Maybe they couldn't afford him for the final thing, but they basically to sell it, they had to get, you know, a ringer. But the other guy was, he was. Yeah, I remember that. I remember him for the first season, season if you can call it that.
Yeah.
But he was okay. Terrible games, but I think actually they're worth a bit of money because they didn't get much release. At least in the States. So I think they were like more
We have
like,
the
they're
one
like
spotlight.
VIC-20 conversions.
We've got the one follow spot, and damn it, we're going to use it.
Well, or at least the one grip. How about that? It's like-
Only 2 remain, and here they are now. Alex Clemens and Mike Schoenwetter. Each of them has
Hey, Alex.
the right to play the final round for the championship.
So basically, that robot without the arm just bumps into walls. Is that basically
Yeah,
what it
no,
does?
that's what those little white pads.
Oh, yeah,
they're basically micro switches.
Yeah,
you bust it, goes.
they
oh,
still
like-
use them on Roombas, basically.
Yeah, it's like
In addition to like an infrared sensor that they have.
Tempest.
Tempest is right.
I used to have one of those in college.
That's what got me. Yeah, that's what hooked me in.
That's the game we'll play.
First one's free, kid.
Yeah.
Vector. So you thought all games were vector graphics?
I
or
thought
you
it was prior to that
Pong.
Pong and the sort of thing, and then so like they're all blocky and black and white and everything.
Well, this is
And then I
Leo's
saw
game.
Tempest.
Who's not here right now, but we remember him fondly. So. This is your game. Yes. Bach.
Yep.
Because
Toccata
Bach
and
is
Fugue in
public
D minor.
domain, and you don't
Yeah,
have to pay
exactly.
licenses for it. Because people started getting sued because they were using things like the Star Trek theme in their games, and video games got big enough. They said, "Yeah, you can't do that. That's not fair use."
It's set. Play.
So yeah, 1 minute. It's like a big 60 seconds. Yeah, so this guy clearly has not played the game because he's not positioning himself correctly.
Right. And also he's dying, but there's that
Yeah.
too. But yes, you want to get the power up to get the double shot as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
It should be showing up right about now. Get the center one. The double shot. Get those two guys. Get those
Pew, pew,
two
pew,
guys.
pew.
Oh,
Pew, pew, pew,
he
pew.
lost his multiplier.
Yeah.
Take a warp. Start time. About 20 seconds left.
Well, we know Alex is going to win. Spoiler guy.
I have never, actually, after playing this game, I've never gotten to Earth.
I don't think anybody gets good. It's basically Galaga meets Tempest.
Yeah.
Nicely played. How do you feel?
Pretty good.
Okay, you go back here, and up comes Alex. Alex, that's the score you have to beat. 7,760 seconds to be the winner. You ready to go?
I hope so.
Good luck.
Did they work that out between rounds?
Yeah, I don't know how they picked who got
Two
who went
warps,
first.
two Neptune. Yeah, see, he knows the pattern.
Yeah. Well, I did too. That's why I picked it.
Yes. You weren't going
But
to
yeah,
make
no,
that
it
mistake
looks like-
again. You were
now
going to
see,
pick pole
it-
position for the final round.
It looks like it's cranked. The difficulty is cranked because they're shooting a lot.
Yes. Well, this is the Invitational Champion, so
Yeah.
you think they would want to make it a little more interesting.
Oh, how do you do that? But he's got, yeah, he's barely half over.
You've done it. You can stop. Oh, wait, no. You need 300 more points. Oh, no, not the cutscene, not the cutscene. You've done it.
You did it! You did it! You got it! Way to go, Alex! Congratulations!
You didn't see him jump in the air. I saw him. There he goes.
Oh, he jumped.
Because I was looking right at him when Jeff says you did it, and he goes boing. He's just straight up in the air.
Meanwhile, you're backstage making little
I was
voodoo
actually-
dolls going.
I actually sort of almost behind the camera. Yeah, it's like poking pins into a fetish doll. Yeah.
Atari Inc., Center Inc., Milestar, RB Robotronics, KTEL,
Valley
San
Advance.
Francisco. Valley Advance in San Francisco, wow. That must be like their distribution
I think,
arm
it was
or
their
something.
I think it was their distribution center. Yeah.
The Tailored Man. Are they still there?
I have no idea.
Probably not a sex shop.
Yeah, but this studio was on Van Ness. The studio where this was shot was on Van Ness Avenue in San Francisco, near Geary, I think. Geary, is that right? No, not near Geary. So near Lombard Street.
Now, if they'd held on to that property, they could think of how much money they could have made
Well,
just
I'm
on
sure
space.
it's still a studio. I don't know who's there now, but
I don't think it would be. Yeah, you'd think they wouldn't have money to keep just a studio space. It's too valuable. Just regular real estate. It's like move you somewhere else.
Well,
move you somewhere
a studio,
cheaper.
I mean, if you got a studio,
Usually
for
studios-
precisely that reason. I mean, if you can't just like, we're going to build a new studio here. It's like, well, we got this studio. Someone's going to come along and say, yeah. So especially in a place as cramped as the city. So
Well, no, I mean that's the whole point. It's like studios you generally put in crappy neighborhoods that nobody wants for anything else because you need
Right.
space and you want cheap. So it's like most production studios they're not in prime real estate. They just because if it's prime real estate, they get much more just putting a building there, a real building.
So
Office space.
I haven't looked. I'll look the next time I'm going through the city.
Ah.
But so, are there any other questions that you wanted to?
Let's see. So you have most of your stuff someplace, but it's in a box. We'll have to crank out the old T9. Did you get any software at the TI or something?
Not really. It was just the TI.
I'm sure you can probably find a flash cart or something on the net where you can get like every piece of software just to put an SD card in. It's a popular thing, and if it has a simple enough cartridge port, it's probably like $50 or something.
Well, when I was already dimly familiar with the TI 99.4a. It had showed up at the local Computer Land, which was a
computer
retail chain back in the day.
Hello,
but I was already enamored of the Apple II and the Commodore PET and soon to be the Commodore 64. So when this TI-99-4A came out, and I would start. Oh, and of course the Atari 400 and 800. So when the TI-99-4A came out, I said, "Okay, what do you got now?" And it's
Bill Cosby,
who is the spokesperson on the ad.
Bill Cosby versus Alan Alda.
Well,
Fight!
versus William Shatner.
Oh, for the freaking VIC-20.
Yeah, exactly.
He didn't even stick around to the 64, did he? He was purely VIC-20, wasn't he?
It's
amazing. The computer with its 4K of RAM.
Yeah. Well, that's why I didn't get a VIC-20, because it was like, super anemic.
Yes.
And there was basically what I had seen of the TI in the shop didn't impress me. So, and it seemed it was like cartridge based, and the cassette interface was horribly expensive and slow, and so I never really pursued the TI 99.4a. And when I finally had enough money of my own, I went and got a Commodore 64 with a floppy drive.
Woohoo.
And
that's almost like having a cassette drive.
Yeah, it's Commodore 1541. Loads data faster than you can type it.
Yes,
but not by much.
Yes. Yeah, I was an Apple IIe person myself, but
yeah. I bought the.
Never had to use a cassette drive.
I bought
ever.
You had a disc too. Yeah.
Well, yes.
Yeah. I purchased the
not a Apple brand disc too, but the clone product.
Oh.
Basically, you get every peripheral. You could have. Yeah, it was basically clone everything except the actual Apple II itself.
Well, Franklin did for a little while.
Well, they did clone computers, but I'm saying this was all the peripherals were cloned. Like it was a half height drive for one. So before Apple came up with one, it was an amber monitor instead of the green monitor.
Yeah.
It's by, I think it was Atlanta Data Products, and also even the 80 column card was an Atlanta Data Products 80 column card, but it was 100% clone. So it was like,
okay. Well, I didn't. Yeah.
The only thing that was ghetto about it was I remember it didn't come with the double high res that 80 columns allowed you. So I asked the store we bought about it. It's like, oh, there's just a jumper block you need to install here. Here's a little piece of plastic.
Yes.
He goes, you can do it yourself. You can short the wires yourself if you want to, but we'll see if we can find a jumper block in the back for you. It's like, yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So
spent over $2,000 on this.
Keep them in a candy dish.
1980, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was
the price of a
one of the
cheap
reasons.
Car in those days.
Yeah, that was one of the reasons why I didn't get the Apple II, is because they were never like they never dropped below to like $1,200.
Yeah. Which
in 1970, 1980 time frame was maybe about what the equivalent of $3,000 today.
Or more than that.
Yeah. And also I bought a copy of the Apple Technical Reference Manual, which had like a full ROM listing and a full schematic. And so I basically pored over this book. This is how I evaluated computers, is I would buy the CPU manual, I would buy the Technical Reference Manual, and I would look at it and say, okay, what's actually under the hood? And I looked at this and I said, nope, not worth $1,200. So I went the 64 route.
Yeah, to me it was like the 80 columns was standard, is a little more easier, and that's what, of course, every school used Apple IIs because Apple donated
them everywhere.
That was the smartest thing they ever did.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
But yes, so it was the 80 column card. The fact that was basically standard versus like on the Commodore and the Atari, this was like an aftermarket mod that wasn't supported by anything, and so I was mainly going to use it for type. No,
okay, for the Apple II, 80 columns was not standard. You had to buy a card. For the Apple IIe, it was built in.
No, it was a card on the Apple IIe as well.
Really?
Yes, okay. but basically everyone had it. There was not one that didn't. I don't think there was an Apple IIe sold that didn't have the 80 column card in it.
It was like something like $1,200 for the base machine.
It was sort of like technically you could have an Apple II that didn't have a disk drive, but pretty much you never saw it unbundled without a disk drive. So.
Right, and then the disk drive was another $500.
Oh no, that was the thing. That was the thing. The Apple itself was expensive, but the disk drive was really dirt cheap because of Woz's design. That it was way cheaper than buying it for like an Atari or for a Commodore 64 to get the disk drive. That was the whole thing. It was like if you actually start adding like things like an 80 column card and the extra memory and the disk drive to a Commodore, it started to not seem as good a deal at the end of the day. Especially because if you get an 80 column card, the only reason to get that is because then you have to have a dedicated monitor. You're not just using a TV set.
Right.
Now, yes, now they both had graphics chips and all that stuff, but then again, I had an Atari 5200 to get my Atari 8-bit fix on.
Your gaming fix.
Yes. Which is like, let's be honest, that's what those graphic chips are for.
Yeah.
If you're doing productivity, it's not going to help you much. So.
I don't know. They're saying, "Oh, gaming machine," and they would say "gaming machine" as a dismissive term. It's not a serious computer. It's like,
yes,
well,
but we did get kicked.
Guess what? The gaming machines of today are like the most powerful.
Well, yes, that's exactly. Well, yeah, that's always
and
true.
That's always true. Just as much as true back then, because.
Well, gaming machine. Apple II had a longer life probably as a gaming machine because King's Quest. Did that ever show up on the C64?
No, it didn't.
Yes, because it required double high-res graphics.
Oh.
16 colors, man. On a high-res screen, in quotes. High-res.
I'm going to have to dig out. I'm going to have to see which of my Commodore 64 floppies still survive.
Yes. I'll have to see which
now
my Apple II floppies that I have left over still survive. I want a program that I wrote that I wanted to get off those. That stupid me when I sold my Apple II.
No.
I had my sister sell it. Didn't think to. Because I didn't realize then it's like, I didn't do the investigation at the point of like how to pull data off a living working Apple II, which I found out is actually not that hard. If you can either use a serial port or you can use the audio cassette port even. Somebody has a simple little program that you can bootstrap onto the Apple II over an audio cassette over the audio cassette port and then pull stuff out and then you just
cool
have like an FTP client that runs over the audio cable, or you could just whip out the soldering iron and make a compatible serial cable.
Yeah, but
super serial card.
But as I mentioned to you earlier, I got a thing called a CryoFlux, which is a USB peripheral that plugs into old floppy drives and can interpret the flux transitions, which I originally got to recover my Amiga floppies. And then the manual says, oh yeah, this will do Commodore 64 as well. I went, really? And so I started looking for a 5 1/4 inch floppy drive, and I couldn't find one.
They're really expensive.
They're really tough to find, and I finally found one a couple weeks ago at Halted Specialties which is a computer surplus place in Sunnyvale, California, for $25.
Yes, very good.
And
like I said, I'm gonna have to pull my Apple IIs home.
Got Archon running, so yeah, bring your floppies over. We'll see what we can.
I'll have to wait till I go home, or till my parents mail them. I'll give you a hint. They're the only 5 1/4 inch floppies in your entire house.
I got to find the head cleaner.
Yeah, the head cleaner diskette?
Yes.
Go find that in eBay. See if that solution is still good. The aqua. It's probably just rubbing alcohol
it's just
water.
Rubbing alcohol. It's nothing
It's
special.
probably diluted rubbing alcohol, if anything else. Put a drop.
Isopropyl alcohol. It's always.
As long as it's not sandpaper. Just beware some of those discs are actually sandpaper.
No, this is one of those white.
Okay.
Translucent things.
Fair enough. All right. Well,
we've
wandered.
Wandered. Boy, oh boy.
I'll have to do some Commodore 64 stuff later. Oh.
Yeah. So now that
we'll do a TI-94 thing.
Yeah.
Whatever. They must have given you like one cartridge you could try, right?
I'd have to look. I don't even know where that is.
They give you. They didn't just give you like the computer and say, "Here, go buy some really expensive cartridges." And
I think that's what they might have done.
Not even a basic cartridge or something.
No, I think it came with. I think it came with Basic. The standard machine came with Basic. Right. But I'll have to. I don't even know if I still have that. I'll have to look.
You can download some old Compute magazines and type in an 80-page application. It's a machine language.
That's how they used to do it. Yeah.
Yes, they progressed from Basic into finally they did machine language type-in programs.
Yes, with a checksum at the end.
The hex enter program. It's like I was so glad. That's how I learned to type really fast.
Type numbers really fast.
Got a job as data entry that summer after doing that.
Really? All right. Well, all right. So anyway, thanks very much for joining us for this unusual side trip. Don't know what we're going to do next. I'm sure it'll be just as weird because you're just full of.
We're going off on tangents now. This is the tangent broadcast.
Yes. Let's go off on tangents. Anyway, thanks all very kindly for joining us, and we'll see you next time.